I love to I love to
Sorry.
crochet.
What's the last thing you said,
I
Chapel?
love to crochet.
You love to crochet. Now that's different. Is that the thing where you have like paper and you stick it in a bunch of glue and then you move it around
No,
in a way? That's not crochet?
no. It's like knitting kind of.
Okay, so
It's
I'm not
like
even
yarn.
close. I'm not even close. You might have to show me some examples of crochet. I took art like 25 years ago and I already forgot what crochet is. Okay, well, that's really cool. All right, Chapel likes crochet, has three brothers and sisters. Is that what you said?
Hmm.
And you are 14 years old. Very good.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna get to know more about you as the summer goes on, but that's a nice start. I like it. Okay, it's time to go to bring him in, Mom. I love that move you got. That's cool. Elena and Rachel, I think you said. You're gonna have to unmute. Who's gonna go first? Rachel, is it you? Okay, Rachel, how old are you? Talk to us.
I'm 13. I have
Okay,
three sisters
awesome.
and I swim.
And you swim. All right, there you go. And I'm guessing one of the sisters is close. Okay, very good. And you swim. Okay, okay. Let's see if the other sister's the same
Elena,
thing as you or something. Come on, sister. Tell me about you.
hi, I'm 14 and I like to do gymnastics and I have three sisters.
Oh my goodness, swimming and
She
y'all are.
crochets too. She's a jack of all trades.
Oh, she crochets too. I might have to learn it. I got daughters who like art tasks and things like that. Very good. Okay, okay. You like gymnastics. Do you have a favorite gymnast that you like to watch on TV or anything?
Simone Biles.
Simone, I knew you were going to say that. I knew it. I said it's going to start with an S and rhyme with Pomone. That means Simone, by the way. It's not much of a riddle. Okay, okay, very good. Yeah, she's incredible. I actually like watching gymnastics, but I'm not good at it. I just let you do it. Okay, very good, very good. All right, so we learned from Chapel. We learned from Rachel and Alina. Okay, 14 and 13 and 13. Okay, let's go back to Marcelo. I know I already asked you, bro, but you got to have to say it because they weren't on here. All right, so tell me your name, siblings, something interesting about you. Go ahead.
I'm Marcelo. I'm 13. I have one sister.
Okay.
And I like to ice skate and and play hockey.
Ice skate and play hockey. All right. I meant to ask you this, Marcelo. Do you have a favorite player or a favorite team in hockey?
I like the Florida Panthers.
The Florida
Um,
Panthers. Okay.
yeah.
What do you like about them? Is it something, the way they play? Is it a player on it? Can you tell me one thing about that?
I'd say pretty much everything. Like, the way they play,
Okay.
they're in the championship, so
Yeah, they're pretty good. I
pretty
got you.
cool.
Easy to like. I got you. All right. I look forward to learning about your interests and not just you yourselves, but also you might teach me some things that might need to follow. The only thing I know about hockey is Mighty Ducks. Okay, I got all the movies, so I'm sure there's more to learn. Anyway, let's get started. All right. So I am a little bit high energy if you haven't figured that out yet. And if you haven't figured it out, you're going to. I might have a loud volume, but the good thing about Zoom is you can turn me down if I'm a bit too loud. I know you got those Bluetooth things. They look so cool, Marcelo. I like that. I need to get me one. But you can turn me down if I'm a bit loud. But we're going to try to get started. So we're going to go through the Algebra Made Simple protocol. What we're basically doing is we're covering like 8 of the most important topics that I think you're going to need a head start in when you're going into a full-blown algebra course. This is pretty good for Algebra 1 or for Algebra 2. We're going to also talk about it from a practical standpoint and a real life standpoint where possible, so it can benefit you no matter what direction you decide to go in your career. So today we're going to start with one of the most practical math topics that nobody in here can say that they're not going to use in their life. You're just lying to yourself if you think you're not going to use this, okay? You can be Elena and be a gymnast for professional and you're going to use this. I promise you, okay? You can be a hockey player and you think you're not going to use this, you're going to use this. Chappelle, um, Chapel. I said Chappelle like you had some sort of weird accent on it. Chapel, okay? What we're going to talk about is going to be really important. We're going to talk about percents and how to calculate percentages. And you're not going to be able to tell Christopher that I'm never going to use this. Why are you making me learn this? Because I have a mother who's a part of this class. Okay, do you see her right there? And she has to pay bills and she has to manage things in the real world. And she probably never goes a day or a week without having to deal with the reality of percents and how it affects us in our everyday life. Can I get a witness over there, Mom? Hmm? Okay, can you tell the people, where two or more are gathered, there's more convincing there. Okay.
I use percents all the time when I'm trying to figure out cooking
Mm-hmm.
and how much time I have to do
Mm-hmm.
something,
Mm-hmm.
how much, yep.
Okay, now
If I'm at the store.
that was mom's perspective, cooking and how much time I have. Here's dad's perspective, money. Okay, I'm always thinking about the money, how much it's gonna cost, and how I'm gonna make it, and how I'm gonna keep it, and how I'm not gonna let someone steal it. Okay, so whether or not you realize it, kids, what you don't know will hurt you. Okay, that sounds kind of weird, but I'm gonna say it again. What you don't know will hurt you. There's people who are really good at math and percentages who take advantage of people who don't know the math and percentages, and they get rich while you get poor and you don't even know it. So don't tell me, oh, it doesn't matter what I study. You have to get knowledge. So we're going to talk about percent. So I have a question. Feel free to jump in, Marcelo, Chapel, Elena, and Rachel. I think I'm getting their names. I want to know the best definition of what percent is. And I want to hear it. Hold on a second, Mom. Don't tell them. I want to hear it from the perspective of a teenager. What is your understanding of percent? If you had to define it to a person who's never heard of that word, let's pretend I was an alien from another planet. Hello, take me to your leader. I just learned English and I don't know this word percent. I'm weird, okay? You'll get used to it. All right. I need someone to tell me what this percent is. I see the symbol at the store and on my phone and then, all over the place. And you had to explain it. What would you say? Now, I'm feeling kind of Rachelish right now. I don't know why. It's just in my gut. I'm feeling kind of Rachelish to start us off. If you had to give me your definition of percent, try to explain it to someone who's never heard of it. How would you explain it, Rachel? Could you start us off?
It's it's the amount of something times turned into out of 100.
Oh, I like that ending right there. I like that ending. You said it's the amount of something out of 100, okay? Hey, Rachel, can I ask you something? What's the first thing that comes to mind when you saw a percent symbol in your life? You're 13, I think you said. When's the last time you noticed the percent symbol that you can think of?
On my phone.
I knew it. I knew it. Okay. Every time I talk to teenagers, that's what they always tell me. They go, when my percent is at 5, I know it's time to plug it in, Christopher. Okay. That's a good start. All right. Even your phone in the battery life uses percentages. That's a pretty good start. All right. Let's go to Chapel. I'm going to say it right this time because I feel bad about messing it up earlier. Chapel, how would you describe the word percent?
Um,
What
like anything out of 100.
Out of 100. Okay, I heard it twice. All right, two people. All right, are saying the same thing. Maybe they're both wrong, but they're probably not. Let's go to Marcelo. Marcelo, turn off the mute for a minute. How would you describe percent from your perspective?
Um, I would say like the amount of something
The
from a
amount,
whole number.
the amount of something out of a whole, right? These are all
Yeah.
pretty good answers. I don't want to leave out Elena real quick. Elena, do you feel like I'm leaving you out? Do you need to give me your perspective, or does that sum it up for you? Okay, if I let you off the hook this time, don't get too comfortable. I'm going to come get you on another question later, so just stay with me, all right? But these are all good definitions. What I'm going to do is in the chat, I'm going to write this down. I'm going to keep it real simple because we're going to talk about this and we're going to actually look at it from some really basic practical applications. Percent by definition, at least the best definition, is simply this. It means out of 100. It means if I take anything in the world and I cut it up into 100 equal size pieces, the question is, how many of those pieces out of the 100 pieces that are there do I actually have? I can have a battery. I am not an artist, okay? I don't even know what croquet or crochet or Bombay or whatever Chapel was saying earlier, okay? I'm not an artist, but I'm going to try to do it, all right? I'm going to draw my best battery, and it is really pathetic, my art skills. That's why I teach math, okay? If I had a battery, okay, is that sad, Marcel? Listen, I'm doing my best, so just bear with me, all right? If I had a battery and I cut this battery up into 100 pieces, now I'm not literally going to do that because I'd be here all day and I'm going to mess it up, okay? So I want y'all to use your imagination that I just cut up the battery into 100 equal size pieces. When it says 30%, what it means is 30 of those pieces are left in my battery storage, right? That means 70 have been used up. You only got 30 left. You better plug it back in when it gets too low, right? Well, just like that's true with batteries, you can do it with anything. The other day, I ate 100%. Nice pig face, by the way, Chapel. The other day, I ate 100% of a pizza that I picked up after work. My wife said I made dinner. I said I got a pizza and I have to eat it. So it's, you'll have to get mad at me later. Okay. So if I ate 100% of my pizza, does that mean I ate 2 slices? Does that mean I ate 3 slices? Does that mean I ate more? What do you think, Marcelo? It means if I said I ate 100% of my pizza. Very good. Y'all are on those emoji games. What does that mean, Marcelo?
Wait, can you repeat that?
Oh, he didn't hear me. I said if I ate 100% of the pizza, what am I really saying? How much of the pizza did
You
I eat?
ate all of it?
I ate all of it. 100% means all 100 of the pieces of the thing that I am talking about, right? So in life, guys, Chapel, Rachel, Elena, don't get too distracted on emojis that you're not hearing what I'm saying, okay? We can take percentages of anything. In fact, when your parents bought the home you're probably in and sleeping in, they probably did not pay 100% of the cost of the home. I know I didn't. They probably went to a bank, borrowed the money to buy the home, and have paid a percentage of the house, but they don't have all of it paid off. Okay, it's called equity. So you might own 20% of your home and the bank owns 80%. You better keep making your payments. You might own 40% of your home and the bank owns 60%. You better keep making your payments. But there are benefits to owning part of something, even if you don't have enough money to own all of it, because things can be sold. And we're going to get into that today. Okay. The first thing I want you to have, how many people have paper and something to write with? That would be awesome if you did. Either a marker board, a tablet. Look at mom. Mom's like, hey, girls, come with me. We got the paper. Okay. We are going to write down a formula that we're going to use to calculate percentages. And I'm going to share my screen with you guys to kind of get the party started. And we're going to have a little bit of a conversation here. All right. You're going to see a lot on the screen. And I want to draw your attention to the colors. Okay. I know we got a few artistic people here. I think it was Elena and Chapel. They like crochet, if I'm not mistaken. And I put colors on my equation for you. Okay. I learned that artistic people like colors. I want you to write this equation down, and we're going to use it a lot today in a variety of situations to unpack percent and how to find it and how to answer specific questions. Okay? The equation is part over whole equals percent over 100. Please write it down because I'm going to show you how we use it in a minute. Okay? Part over whole is equal to percent over 100. I think Marcelo said earlier, percent is part of some greater amount of one thing, right? That's my own paraphrase. And then somebody else, I think it was Chapel, said, Chris, it really means out of 100. And you're both right. That's why part over whole can be said to be equal to percent over 100 because they're really the same thing. Okay? Now, this is an algebra course. And so I'm going to teach you how to calculate percent today using algebra concepts and processes instead of some other methods that you could choose to use. There's another way of doing it, but I'm going to show you an algebra way using equations, using variables, and we're going to practice that whether you feel like you know it already or you need to learn, okay? Marcelo, I saw that hand. Do you have a quick question, sir? Okay, no, you just had something in your arm, shoulder. Okay, I got you. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. So we're going to talk about some basic math questions, and then I'm going to show you some real life situations, and we're even going to watch a bit of a TV show today, actually, because the TV show is going to show you the concept. So if you look right here, question 1 is what I want everybody to write down. If you got something to write with, write it down. If you're sitting next to your mom and you got it good like that, then make sure she or somebody next to you is writing that down. But the question says, what percent of 29 is 3? What percent of 29 is 3? And it's a weird way of asking the question. It often confuses kids who aren't used to being presented a question in this way. However, this equation can be helpful once you know what parts to look for. Now, anytime you have a question on percent, I always ask my students, I say, I want you to look for and identify what's the percent, what number is the part, and what number is the whole. It's super important to understand these 3 concepts, the part, the whole, and the percent. If you look at question 1, they've given you 2 numbers as part of that question, guys, but they didn't tell you directly which number falls as a part and which number falls as a whole or which number is a percent. They didn't actually tell you that. That's what we have to figure out. So the first thing I want to ask the group, if you think you know it, I want you to use the chat feature in the Zoom. If you click the little, messaging feature in there, some of y'all have done that before. I'm going to say hello and send y'all a quick message so it pops up. Do y'all see that? I just wrote you a message. I said, hello. Someone send me something back so I know it works. Okay, you're going to communicate to me with the chat feature. All right. Hey, Chapel. She said hi. All right, Elena. Yay. All right, we're all good. Okay, you know how to use the chat. Very good. There's my test. My question first is this. If you read question 1, I want to know the number 29. If you think it's a part in this context, is it a whole or is it a percent? And I want to know what you're thinking. Okay? Don't be scared to get it wrong. You're either going to get it right or you're going to learn. It's a win-win. What if I miss it? Then you learn the truth. What if I get it right? Then you feel all good inside. Okay? It's a win-win. Is it a part? Is it a whole? Or is it a percent? When I talk about the number 29 right there. Thank you, Chapel. Thank you, Elena. Marcelo, give me your vote when you got it. Okay? I got 2 votes for whole and I got 1 vote for percent. These are very good guesses. Maybe they're not a guess. Okay? But Chapel, you struck first. I'm going to check in with you. Chapel, how come you said whole with such confidence? I mean, you didn't take that much time. Maybe you feel like you know it, and maybe you're right. Can you explain your position? Chapel, why do you think 29 is the whole here instead of the percent or the part? Go ahead.
Because we are trying to find what percent is 3 out of 29.
Okay, so you did a really good job of reading the question to me. You're trying to find what percent of 3 is, but can you give me a little more detail? That's a good start. Okay. You're trying to find what? What are they asking for? Are they asking for the part in this question? What is the part that we don't know that they're asking us to find? Say that one more time.
They're asking us to find the percent.
They're asking us to find the percent. You notice that? So if they start off by saying what percent, that means I don't know what the percent is. So the other numbers aren't going to be the percent. We can kind of eliminate that. Does that make sense, people? It's not that that is a percent because they're asking us for the percent. They're asking us a question, and so we don't yet know what the percent is. Okay? All right. I like that. Let's have the same question for number 3. Okay? Then we're going to get started. It says, is 3. Is that a part? Is that a percent? Or is that a whole? Notice I didn't really say if she was right or not yet. For the number 3, is that a part in this context? Is it a whole? Or is it a percent? You said, some of y'all said whole, some of y'all, what are y'all thinking? Thank you, Elena. Thank you, Marcelo. Okay, y'all agree on this one. Marcelo, say it. You just typed it to me. Tell the people what you said. 3 is a what in this context?
Part.
It's a part. It's a part. And little hint, usually the part is smaller than the whole. Little hint, okay? Usually the part is not going to be as much as the whole, right? There are some exceptions to that. So here's what I want everyone to do, all right? We're going to use this formula, and I'm going to make sure we're all on the same page. Because the part in this context is 3, because the whole, and by the way, Chapel, good job, you are right. Because the whole is 29, and we're trying to find the percent, you're going to write out an equation, but you're going to put it as 3 over 29 because 3 is part and 29 is the whole. And you're going to say equals percent over 100. Now, because we don't know what the percent is yet, you're going to write it as x over 100 because this is algebra. And in algebra, we put letters in the place of places that we do not yet know. Oh my, someone is having fun with the green marker. Okay? You think you can undo that? It's going to be hard to see. Did anyone? There you go. Thank you, whoever. Take a little break on that. Okay. So this is how we set that up, guys, because you have to figure out the part, the whole, and the and what the percent is, right? Now, I need a show of hands if you've ever done this before. If this is familiar to you, I need to just see a visual in the camera. You've done this before. This isn't new. Okay, was that Elena or Rachel? Both of you done it before? Okay, good. Because what we're going to do in a minute, I'm not sure if you've done before, but you have to have this basis. If you haven't done it before, let's learn. Okay, now I saw that hand. Was that Elena's hand I saw there? Turn off the mute for a minute, girl. I want to talk to you. Can you turn off the mute? I want to talk to you for a minute. Okay, you've done it before. I have to ask. If you've done this before, can you tell me how to solve this? What would be our next step if you had to solve an equation like this? Is that too much to ask right now?
Yeah, this is I always get this part, but like I always get stuck on what to do next, and my mom always has to remind me.
I see a
Rachel,
I see a finger
Rachel
towards
can,
Rachel. Rachel, can you help out your sister?
Rachel.
Uh-oh, pressure.
I multiplied the 100 times the 3,
Okay,
and
we call that cross multiplying.
I divided it by 29, and I'm still working on it.
I got you. Well, she is correct. Okay, I want you to listen if you don't know what to
She
do.
just knows, Mom.
Okay, very good. What you do is you cross multiply, Elena, and this is called a proportion. A proportion is a certain type of equation that has two basically fractions set equal to each other. An easy way to solve those is to do something called cross multiplication. So that means diagonally, Marcelo. That means diagonally, Chapel, right? 3 times 100 is 300. And I'm going to talk to you, Chapel, since you've done this before. You also have to diagonally multiply the other way, set them equal to each other. So 29 has to get multiplied by x. For those who may not know, can you tell the people what is 29 times x equal to?
Um, I'm not sure.
Not sure? Okay. You remember it a little bit, but we might need reminders. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah.
All right. Marcelo, do you know what 29 times x is or not so much? Give me a thumbs up if you know. Give me a thumbs down if you don't know. Okay, you don't know? Okay. No,
Is it
not Rachel.
25? Is it 25x?
You almost said it.
29x?
There you go. It's 29x. So this is a learning lesson. And I'm going to tell you guys that right now. Listen, Marcelo, anytime you have to multiply a number times a letter, which we call a variable in math, you just put them together. It's really weird, but it is something done in algebra. Okay, Marcelo? So write that down for me, buddy, if you haven't already. 29 times x is equal to 29x. So everybody should have a 300 equals 29x at this point. And all we did to get that is we cross multiplied. 3 times 100 is 300. 29 times x is 29x. And you set them equal to each other. Are you guys with me? If you're with me, give me a thumbs up. If that makes sense to you so far. If you're not, give me a thumbs down. We cool? Okay? And as Chapel was saying, the last step is always to divide the number attached to the variable. So because 29x is part of the situation, the inverse of multiplication is to divide. And what you do to one side, you do to the other side at the same time to keep it equal. And so this is one way using algebra we can find this particular answer. You do 300 divided by 29. Mr. Morris, can I use a calculator to save time right now? Actually, you can. When you get to the Algebra 1 level, sorry, that was my like invisible man talking to us, right? But when you get to this level in math, there's such bigger concepts that we really want you to understand. So we're okay with using some calculators to save time in these types of situations. Most high school math, they'll use calculators to some degree. So save a little time. What is 300 divided by 29? Anybody have it? If you got a phone, you can do it on that. If you got one near you or a computer, you can do it. But I need to know it. 300 divided by 29, and that is the percent in a situation like this. 300 divided by 29.
No. Wait, what? Wait, I don't know.
Are you trying to talk to me or y'all talking to each other? Talking to Rachel and Elena. I can't tell if you're talking to me or y'all or each other.
10.344. It's a
Yeah.
long number.
So what we're going to do is we're going to just round that to 10.3%. That's good enough. We're going to round it to the 10th place. I know there's more digits there, but for right now, that's good enough for me. Okay? Are we cool? So this is kind of maybe new to some of you guys. You've never done it at all. For a couple of y'all, it seems like it's familiar and you just need a reminder. But this is how we can use an equation in algebra to find a percentage or to find out what the percent of something would be. Y'all with me? Okay. Thumbs up in the camera if you're with me, because we're going to proceed. All right. So here's the deal. There was a situation, and we're going to use the same concept to talk about a real life situation that occurred, okay? Now, don't judge me for bringing up this example. I'm bringing up this example to make a math point, Mom, okay? I'm not endorsing this person. I'm using that as an example. Has anyone, and you better not have heard of him, I'm just joking. Has anyone ever heard of a rapper? He's really famous, okay? A really famous rapper. He doesn't rap as much. I didn't say the rapper yet, girls. Okay, you got to let me say the rapper. Have you ever heard of a rapper called 50 Cent? Any mom heard him. There's a generational. Anyone ever? Marcelo, have you heard of 50 Cent? Chapel, you've heard of 50 Cent? How dare you? I'm going to talk to your parents about what they're letting you listen to. Okay, I'm just joking. Okay. 50 Cent, 50 Cent. Good job, Mom. Mom's heard of 50 Cent, but your kids don't. Very good. Okay. 50 Cent was a really popular rapper about 20, 25 years ago, especially when I was in high school. Okay. I don't want you to listen to his music. Okay. I'm making a math point about his business. Okay. Do not listen to him. I don't endorse it. All right. Have I said that enough? It's on recording. Okay. But he is famous even though I don't approve with his lifestyle. Okay, can I say that? Okay. So 50 Cent is praised by a lot of financial people for making a very shrewd business move, and he used percents to do it. Has anyone in here ever heard of the company? It's a drink. It's called vitamin water. Oh, Mom shut that up real quick. So how many people whose hands is up is already had some vitamin water maybe this past month? You've seen it? No, y'all don't like it? What you drink? Gatorade? Haterade? You drink Haterade.
I
Okay.
haven't tried it.
What do you drink, Chapel?
Data.
You drink Gatorade? I drink Gatorade too. What do you drink, Marcella?
I really drink that stuff.
You don't really drink it at all. Okay, but y'all have all heard of vitamin water? Okay, listen to me. A lot of people think 50 Cent made most of his money. He's made hundreds of millions of dollars, and they think he's made most of his money by being a good rapper and having music sales, but that's not true. He actually made most of his money because of vitamin water, believe it or not. In 2000, I think it was 2002, 2003. Okay. Oh, no, she knows the name of the song in the club. Oh, no. Don't tell him, chap. I don't endorse that song. Okay. But in 2002, 2003, this guy got really popular. It was Eminem, if you've ever heard of that guy, and then 50 Cent. Okay, Chapel likes rap. Okay, Eminem and then 50 Cent, right? Well, when 50 Cent came out, he made a business deal with Vitamin Water that was a very small company at the time. A lot of people hadn't heard about it, but he agreed to do commercials and advertise vitamin water. And yes, Chapel, he used his hit song Into Club and the beat to Into Club to promote vitamin water. All right. And so the beat's kind of cool, but the words are horrible. And in the beat, he would say, yo, I can find me blah, blah, blah. You know, I'm not going to say the words, but he would say vitamin water, try it. And then everybody went and sold and bought vitamin water because 50 Cent said so. That's how smart we humans are. 50 Cent said to do it, and he's a good rapper, so I guess I should drink his drink. That's what the people did. Okay? Well, at the time he negotiated, now this is where we're going to do the math, a 2.5% equity stake in the company. Now, what that means is that Vitamin Water chose to give the rapper 50 Cent 2.5% of their company, which means the people who ran Vitamin Water only got to own about 97.5%. They gave some ownership, not all of the ownership, but part of the ownership to 50 Cent. Are y'all with me? Are you following me, people? Okay? Now, here's where it's interesting, and this is where I'm headed with our lesson. Y'all with me? Yeah, get ready. The money. Give me more money bags there, Marcelo, because this is where it gets crazy. Okay? It's like Shark Tank. Chapel, we're going to watch an episode of Shark Tank in a minute for a few minutes. Okay? Wow, you're reading my mind. Now, there's a big company. I don't know if y'all have heard of it. You probably haven't. Has anyone ever heard of it? It's a really small company. It's called, I'm just joking. It's called Coca-Cola. Anyone in here ever heard of Coca-Cola? Okay. If you haven't heard of Coca-Cola, you probably live on a desert island under a rock with the rest of your lizard friends. Okay. Coca-Cola is in every place that you can see in this country, right? Well, Coca-Cola owned a little company called Powerade. Powerade is owned by Coca-Cola, believe it or not. And guess what? Coca-Cola did not like it that people were starting to like 50 Cent and drink vitamin water instead of Powerade because they make money when people drink Powerade. Y'all with me? So you know what Coca-Cola chose to do? Does anyone know? Don't tell them, Mom. What did Coca-Cola choose to do? Because they were losing money to vitamin water. They decided to buy out vitamin water. They said, I'm going to give y'all so much money that you can't say no. And then we'll own the rights to vitamin water. And when people buy vitamin water, Coca-Cola makes money instead of vitamin water making money. Do y'all have any idea how much they bought vitamin water for within about 2 years of Mr. 50 Cent doing that commercial? It was a huge number. Chapel, guess. How much do you think they paid for vitamin water?
2 billion?
Good guess. More. Anyone else want to guess?
Trillions?
How much?
Trillions?
Okay, not
I
that much. They ain't Elon Musk. Okay, not they're in the billions. I'm going to give you one more guess. Not 2 billion, but a little more. What do y'all think?
3 billion?
Mom is real close. Check this out. It was 4.1 billion dollars, people. 4 billion, $100 million they bought vitamin water for. That's how much they were selling. Unbelievable. Mr. Morris, why did you tell me that? Because y'all are about to tell me how much 50 Cent made when Coca-Cola bought that company. Remember, he owned 2.5%. Let's find out, all right? We're going to do this together. We're going to do it together as a group because this is a little bit of a taste on what y'all are doing for homework, okay? Remember, the formula is part over whole. I like to say P over W, part over whole, equals percent over 100. It's a pretty easy equation. It's a pretty easy formula to remember. But remember, Mr. 50 Cent owned 2.5% of vitamin water. You know what that means? If it was a percent, you better put that amount over 100, people. And you're going to do that right now. You're going to do it for the weekly task work this week, and you're going to learn something in a real way. Okay? 2.5% is 2.5 out of 100. Now, I have a question. If they bought that for $4.1 billion, is $4.1 billion the whole? Or is I can't even say it. $4.1 billion the part? Who wants to jump in here? Which one is it? I see a vote in the chat. What did y'all say? Someone said the whole. Thank you. That better be the whole. That's a lot of money. I hope that's not just part of it. I mean, good grief. Now you really are in the trillions, all right? That's a big amount, and this is going to be a lot to write down. Y'all ready for this? We're going to do 4.1 billion. I don't even know how many zeros that is, but I'm going to do it anyway, okay? 0, 0, 0. Let's see. Does that look? Oh, no, that's only 41 million. We got to do another one. Let's see. That's 41. I got to do another one. I mean, look at this. I think that's it. I'm going to do my commas and make sure. 4,100,000. Yeah, that's how many zeros we're talking that Coca-Cola paid for vitamin water. The question is, X, how much money did 50 Cent get paid when that transaction went through? Elena? I don't know. He got more than $0. I can tell you that much. Okay? And we're going to work that out right now. Y'all ready? I got the percent in the right spot. I got the whole in the right spot. We just want to know the part. He didn't get 4.1 billion, but he got a lot. And I give you a hint. It's in the millions. Let's do this thing. We cross multiply. Does everyone see that? That's the first thing you're going to do. You're going to do it for the homework. X times 100. Make it real simple. I'll change the color so it stands out a little bit. That's 100x. Okay? Marcelo, anytime you got a number times a letter, just put the number and the letter right next to each other. You hear me, buddy? Just put them right next to each other. 100x. Now, you need a calculator for this part. I don't even know if it's going to show up on your phone, but I want you to try it. 4.1 billion. Someone tell me what that is and put it in the chat if you dare. That's a lot of zeros. Let's see, how many zeros was that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 8 zeros. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Woo! And you're going to multiply that by 2.5 because you're cross multiplying. Wow, that's a big number. Put it in the chat if you have it. I think Chapel has already done it, if I'm not mistaken. Rachel has the answer. Okay, Rachel, I got a message. I think it was from Mama. What's your answer?
56,600,000.
Okay, we're about to find out. We're about to find out. Now, is that what 4.1 billion times 2.5 is? You might have given me the whole answer, but I just want that part right there. Does anyone have that? I'll give you a minute. I just use a calculator. Doing that by hand could take all day. I'm going to do it here just to save a little time. I'm getting 10,250,000. No, 10 billion, 250 million, excuse me.
I have the answer.
Is anyone else getting what I got? This is what I did when I typed it in my calculator. Okay?
Yeah, I got that.
Okay. So the last step is to divide by 100, right? Whatever's attached to the letter, Marcelo, you just divide that number to both sides. 100 divided by 100 is 1. So you're just going to have nothing but 1x. But what is 10 billion divided by 100? Who's got the answer? I just heard somebody talking to me. What do you got? Chapel's awfully quiet. You got it, Chapel?
Is it a billion?
You got to say the number right. It's 100. It's pretty close to 100 million. You can basically drop 2 zeros. If you divide by 100, you can drop those zeros off the end. It's a little shortcut. But if you do it in a calculator, it'll give you the same thing, okay? I'm going to try to make sure I did that right. I think I did. I know it's a lot, but I'm trying to make a point. Yeah, about $102 million is what 50 Cent made in like one day when Coca-Cola decided to buy that company. That is the power of percents. You do not have to own all of something to get rich. You can own a percent of something very, very valuable. And if somebody else buys it, cha-ching is what your life's going to be. Okay. So this works all the time. If you have a house and let's say you only bought it for $100,000, but the climate changed and now you sold it for $500,000. If you have 30% equity, that means you own 30% of it. You can take 30% of your $500 sale, cha-ching, and you made money. People who understand this, use it, get wealthy. People who don't understand this usually help pay for somebody else to get wealthy. Okay? So we're going to do a little exercise here, and we're going to watch Shark Tank to make a point, and it's actually going to help you with the assignment today. I'm not going to watch the whole thing, but I am going to watch the beginning of it. How many people have ever seen the show Shark Tank? You've seen the show Shark Tank. You know what it is. Is Chapel the only one? Oh no, Elena, you seen it? You seen it? Okay. No, not Marcelo. Okay. Chapel, tell your classmates, your friends, how that show works in your own way, in your own language while I set it up. Okay. Can you tell them how that works?
Yeah. So a owner of like a small business will come into the Shark Tank and ask the sharks for a certain amount of money in
Mm-hmm.
exchange for a percent of their company. And if
Mm-hmm.
the sharks take the deal, then usually their business
There you
explodes
go.
and they
There
make
you
money.
go. So once you have a company that's making you money and perhaps it's growing and you need money to run the business, you might need to do advertising and you need money to spend on that. You might need to get more materials. There's a whole bunch of reasons why you might need some investing. So what some people will do is they'll go to really rich people like 50 Cent or somebody and they'll say, hey, if you give me 200,000 bucks, I know that's a lot of money. I'll let you own some of my company, maybe 2%, maybe 10%. 50 Cent likes to do that. He even sounds like money, right? But what we're going to do is, I don't know if you've ever seen it, but you remember when the sharks say, well, I'm here seeking $100,000 for 10% of my company. And the sharks usually say something that said, well, what makes you think your company's worth $1 million? Anyone ever heard them say that? They'll come in asking for 500,000 for a percent. And then they say, what makes your company worth all this? Well, guys, what they're doing is they're saying part of your company is $100,000. 10% of your company is $100,000, not 100%. I have to spend $100,000 just to get 10% of your company, right? So what the sharks are doing is there's like, well, based on that rate, how much is 100% of your company? How much would all your company cost, right? Well, that means you'd have to get 10%. That's 100%. And each 10% is $100,000. So 100% of the company, if you get that deal, 100,000 for 10%, that means you're saying your company's worth $1 million. That's what you're really saying. But I only sold $800 last year. Well, then guess what? They're going to laugh you out of the building because you are not selling based on what you're saying you're worth. Does that make sense? So what we're going to do is we're going to act like sharks. We're going to watch an episode at the beginning. And what's going to happen is they're going to come in and ask for a certain amount of money for a certain percent. And I'm going to pause the video and we're going to work out the numbers and find out how much they're claiming their entire company's worth. Okay? It's a little preview into the homework assignment. And that's what we're going to do. Okay? Is that okay, Mom? It's a good show. I watched it already. It's all about education and business and how it applies. Okay? All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to share the sound with my screen, and you guys are going to see my screen. It's amazing what we can do in technology, okay? Now, this guy's coming on the show, and he has an awesome business idea called ELF, okay? In fact, I just realized something. I'm going to stop the